Do you or someone you love currently have a mortgage or not?
I do.
Okay. What is
I
the
have a
rough?
mortgage at the
Yeah.
moment.
What is the rough amount of the mortgage? Like 100, 200k, 300k.
Roughly 300K at the moment I've got.
Okay. In order for us to get accurate data, we have to do some calculations, and this
Hmm.
helps us with our information and also helps our community members to, like yourself, know the full picture
Yes.
as well. So the average mortgage lifespan is 25 to 30 years, and typically 80% is interest and 20% principal in initial years. And
Yes.
how much is your payment towards your mortgage?
It's just over, believe it or not, just over £1,500.
So in terms of like your so if you're paying £1,500 a month, okay,
Yeah.
and now if you calculate that over 12 months, let's just say,
Yeah.
Yeah.
that works out to about 18,000. Now, in terms of roughly how
But I
much is a
think
mortgage
each
interest?
hmm?
In roughly how much would
Well,
you
the
say is
interest
interest?
rate is it varies from, say, on one of them I've got interest rate is just over, about 0.79%.
Okay.
Okay,
So,
Yeah.
yeah.
And one of them say around about 3%. So the
3%.
highest interest paying loan on my mortgage is about 3%.
We are just having this conversation here, but let's just say you didn't have to pay that interest. What could you have done
Yeah.
for your family with that money instead?
Loads of things I can
Yeah.
do.
Can you share like three things with us?
With my family, I can obviously, one of the things I'd like to travel more, take them to, various locations, particularly, say Spain, Islamic history and stuff like that. So obviously enjoy my time with my family,
Cool.
be able to provide them education,
Fantastic.
and then
Fantastic.
various other things which are quite important to us and the family.
Absolutely. In our interviews and research, we found that an interest-bearing mortgage not only costs the homeowner and their family financially, but that it also costs so much in other immaterial ways that we never calculate. Now,
Yeah.
we can say that, if you were to estimate how much your mortgage cost you in mental stress and had to put a bold figure around that, how much would it be?
Like in dollar value, how much it would be?
Because of the commitment, it's you. I am quite cautious, very cautious to even think about taking some job somewhere else. So monetary value is very difficult for me to say, but obviously it's costing me heavily in terms of time. Really, I don't have the time because it's a big mortgage and I have to work at that level, which keeps me really busy.
So because it's costing you in time, how is that
Yeah.
affecting your personal life and your family life? Because you're having to work in order to make sure that you can keep up with your payments. Now, if you didn't have to pay that interest, would you say that you would be able to lower your working time because you don't have such a big interest to pay on your mortgage?
If I didn't have, honestly, if I didn't have a hefty mortgage or payment, I would have done a job which is job-wise. I would have thought about doing something different.
Sure.
At the moment, in my role at the moment, it's quite a senior position, and I have to even work weekends and evenings. So sometimes I'm doing 12, 13, 14-hour shifts.
Wow.
And then we work in weekends as well now.
Wow. And because that's because you have to keep up with your payments and make sure your bills are paid, and obviously if you didn't have that interest, you wouldn't have to work that, which meant you'd be able to spend more time with your family.
That is my greatest. I think in terms of my personal situation, I think there's two issues at the moment which is worrying me. One is I don't have the time to spend with my family,
Right.
And secondly, it's I don't have. I can't do what I really want to do,
Right.
because of that commitment,
Yes, I understand.
financial commitment, which is the mortgage is the main financial commitment that I've got.
So if I'm understanding this correctly, this interest-bearing mortgage is costing you quite a lot because it's costing you time, it's costing you that emotional stress, and it's costing
Yeah.
you that time for yourself and your family. Now, one question I want to ask you as well is, which is very important, that in terms of spiritually, how much would you say is costing you in terms of dollars?
Spiritually, it doesn't really compare, does it? There's no value you can put on spiritual effect which is happening, because it's not something I got involved with lightly, and mentally it's something that bothers me quite a bit, because obviously Islamically it's not halal.
Yeah, now, if you have a mortgage, but there was no interest on that mortgage product, your home equity was protected. You would never have to forfeit it or go through foreclosure from the bank. So, would you
Yeah.
would this be interesting for you?
I would most definitely be interested in that opportunity.
But what if you personally couldn't be accepted for that program? Would you still support it if you were helping other families get out of an interest-bearing mortgage?
Of course, I mean, I will promote it, inshallah, regardless of what happens. And I understand that you have to prioritize, and I'm always okay with people worse off than me being benefited if that means I'm not going to be considered. But I think it's a good product, alhamdulillah, and if it's managed properly and delivered, I'm sure there will be enough demand for it, inshallah.
Brilliant, thank you. Habibi Coin focuses on doing just that. And it is one of our core missions to improve the economic burdens of our community, but by tackling issues and areas that most people do not give enough attention to. But we can't do it without your help. So I wanted to thank you for your time and helping us get a little bit more data from our community from around the world, because your input in this research that we're doing is going to be very valuable.